Spoiler alert. While there are a few exceptions to this rule these days, in the late 1990s it was common to find a comic book film with a budget in the hundreds of millions. Comic book movies in the modern era are typically enormous, bloated blockbusters with big-budget nonsense. These were Hollywood's dark horses, movies with no track record of success that needed studio support. Blockbusters that were bloated and crap were not a possibility. It is probably unnecessary for me to go into detail about the early Marvel filmography or the company's ongoing financial decline before the MCU was created. To put it succinctly, though, Marvel, the massive film company that currently controls its own portion of the market, was previously so insolvent that it had to sell off the rights to some of its intellectual property and characters in order to survive. This is how we ended up with things like the Sony Spider-Man movies, Artisan's Punisher feature, and Fox's X-Men series. Blade was one of the IPs offloaded since it was purchased by New Line Cinema. Many people were unaware that a film was even connected to the otherwise vibrant and colorful Marvel brand, and that worked to the movie's advantage in the 1990s. Welcome to Movie Spy. Blade is a mixed blood who was bitten by a vampire while giving birth to her mother. Blade receives this special blend of DNA, giving him all the advantages over these bloodthirsty fanatics without any of their drawbacks. In this film, it is referred to as being a daywalker.
The goal, of course, is to be like you. Daywalker.
Blade's life goal is to hunt down and eliminate any creature he comes across by using his curse. He achieves this with the help of his faithful mentor, Whistler, played by Chris Christopherson, who adopted Blade as a youngster and schooled him in warfare. Blade's guy in the chair, Whistler, offers companionship, technological know-how, and a unique serum that Blade injects to prevent him from having blood cravings. Never forget that he is a vampire, people. Given that this is a revisiting video and the film is about 30 years old, it is reasonable to presume that you have previously watched it. Furthermore, I do not think it is appropriate to sum up the story in one paragraph and call it a day. Let us get right to the juicy stuff instead. How well maintained is this film? And what, after all these years, makes it so great? Oh, and in this video, we will undoubtedly reveal some Deadpool and Wolverine spoilers. When we come to it, I will let you know. Now let us move. Let us start by discussing the iconic opening sequence of this film. A highly stylized late 90s rave with slick leather, edgy music, sensuality, depravity, and of course, blood pouring from the ceiling sprinklers is how the film opens. Yes, guys, this Vampire Rave's opening scene features a mass murder. This is very 90s, but in the most comfortable and fulfilling way possible. I am completely enthralled with how the blue tones of the lighting and color grading contrast with the rich, dark crimson of the corn syrup being sprayed all over the dance floor. The antagonist of the story is Deacon Frost, a vicious and careless vampire, played by Stephen Dorff, who has something to prove. In essence, this guy wants to either work with Blade to avoid using force, or he wants to catch Blade and use his hybrid blood to advance the vampire species' evolutionary scale. Our primary conflict currently exists because Blade desires to use force. In addition to being excellent, the actors' performances in this film, in my opinion, undervalue how crucial their dedication to the parts was to the film's eventual success. It is crucial to bear in mind that although Marvel movies are now mainstream family entertainment, Blade was produced during a period when superhero movies were extremely unpopular and hence not very profitable. When he took on this project, director Stephen Norrington knew that his chances of making a profit were already slim. However, what makes this film unique is how seriously the actors and crew took the material, how seriously they committed to the absurdity of it all, and how grounded and serious their performances were. One of the greatest superhero castings ever is Wesley Snipes as Blade, right up there with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or RDJ as Iron Man. Snipes gives Blade a hip and cool edge by cracking the occasional joke, reacting with his very expressive orange eyes, and even adding some signature one-liners into the mix from time to time. While there are one or two moments of comic relief in the film, this movie ultimately plays it absolutely straight and takes what it's doing seriously. Dorff's performance as Deacon Frost exemplifies how to sell the scene's stakes while going all out. He eats through almost the whole set here, but it is not for nothing in the form of lengthy monologues and corny explanations. Instead, he constantly delivers lines as though he has been up all night, preparing in front of the mirror, and thinks about nothing but his purpose, letting his expressions and manner show you how nasty and unpredictable he is. And I say this with all due respect. The film's antiquated computer graphics, which we're mostly reliant on for the climax, give Frost a terrible reputation. What makes Frost accept the blow? He is the one who, in the climactic act, transforms into a pixelated, rubbery mess. Although this does not appear as professional as it would now, let us go past it. Take a look at the amazing combat scenes and flawless action photography in this film. Even though there is plenty of action and bloodshed, that is only a portion of this wonderful pie. Rewatching Blade also highlights the interesting interaction that Blade has with the supporting characters. Blade's father-son bond with Whistler gives his character a lovely depth, and you will be heartbroken by his response to Whistler's almost fatal scenario. The interplay between Blade and Karen, a person who wishes to assist and possibly even bone Blade, gives Blade's persona more depth. Karen gives Blade his toughness, while Whistler makes him sweet. Blade has an incentive to be vigilant and focused due to her engagement. See, even though our hero feels compelled to defend others, he also has no trouble going out at night to kick some vampire ass. He is also happy to have Karen around, watching out for her well-being. It is crucial to remember that Blade's greatness extends beyond what is immediately apparent. Yes, he looks cool with the duster jacket, the ninja weapons, those katanas in particular, the shades, and the tattoos. Blade is a fantastic character because of his humanity and stoic attitude with tinges of humor. Behind the scenes, Norrington and Snipes would soon grow tired of the franchise. Norrington would hand the reins to Guillermo del Toro, the contemporary king of the macabre, for the second picture, which promises to be every bit as entertaining as the first. Snipes would feature in each of the trilogy's 3 parts, but as the movies progressed, it was said to become harder and harder to work with him. You see, Snipes was so invested in the role of Blade that he would always play the part, giving the impression that he was distant and unwelcoming to everyone on the set. This would cause the film's returns to dwindle, and finally they would fade away and be cut down to nothing. Up until, if you enjoyed this film as much as I did, you must have been equally excited to see Wesley Snipes return as Blade in Marvel's most recent cross-universe project, Deadpool and Wolverine. While I love that he was in the movie for a good portion of it and he did get plenty to do, I was disappointed by the rehashed catchphrase and not so subtle wink at the camera and Mahershala Ali's upcoming Blade film. Seeing him whip out some blades and kick some asses was all I needed to fill the blade-shaped hole in my heart. In those moments, it just did not feel like Blade. Thanks for watching.